Alright guys, I'm back for today's news, and let's get into it. Fable fans are convinced this big reveal is coming for after Xbox Game Showcase. Tweet, and this was a tweet on Twitter. Do you love games as much as we do? Then you won't want to miss the Xbox Game Showcase, and I'm assuming they're gonna have this on the Xbox and Bethesda channels on YouTube. Just being a couple, just to. So I will be posting retweets and stuff of this as it's going as I'm watching it. So, and I will be posting a YouTube video on it that week, probably covering most if not some of what was shown. So, stay tuned, I guess. Fans think that Microsoft and Xbox are teasing some Fable news at its upcoming Xbox Game Showcase next month. So we might be seeing Fable, one of the games that they haven't shown off in a while since E3 was a thing. On Xbox's official Twitter account, a video is posted showing a person's Xbox controller covered in glitter. It is revealed that the glitter forms a trail that leads to a screen that shows the Xbox Game Showcase logo with the caption "Seems important." In the Fable games, a glitter trail guided players to their next-gen destination on a mission, so a big hint there. So this trail of glitter implies that the Fable reboot will appear as the game's Xbox Game Showcase. That game is being developed by the Forza Horizon developer Playground Games, which they're used to only making racing games, so this should be interesting. The Fable reboot was first announced back in 2020 for the Xbox Series X and S. PC in the meantime, well, I don't know about S because it's not saying S. I'm just assuming it says. Meantime, we've learned that the game is being developed using the Forza engine, and that Horizon Forbidden West writer Andrew Walsh left Guerrilla Games to join Playground and work on it. It's the latest mainline entry in the Fable series since 2010. Fable 3, the Xbox Game Showcase, is set to premiere June 11th. So I think that's separate from the Summer Games Fest. I don't know if it's a general term to talk about all of them together, because E3 is dead, as I said. But I will be covering it. Summer Game Fest, I still gotta figure out what day that's there. I mean, outside of June 8th. Starting to think it's just a generalized term for all of them. Anyways, next up, and this is an Anime News Network article. If you guys don't know, I do anime news on Monday, so I'll sometimes have gaming news overlap with my anime news sometimes, depending if it's something having to do with anime to some degree, which I've talked about anime games and stuff like that, games based from anime. But anyways, going back in here, Dolphin's Emulator Steam release indefinitely postponed after Nintendo's DMCA notice, and this is basically Nintendo's going after anything that they may consider copyright at this point. Lord only knows what that means, because they're pretty much going out after everything. The Wii and GameCube emulator Dolphin revealed on its webpage blog on Saturday that its Steam release is indefinitely postponed. The team stated that Valve now notified that the Nintendo, wow, I'm having problems reading today, has issues a cease and desist, citing that the DMCA against Dolphin's Steam page the team added. Keep in mind, these are older platforms. They're DMCA striking older platforms that aren't the Switch currently. So like Wii, anything having to do with emulation, they're waging war against it at this point. That is currently investigating options and will have a more in-depth response in the future, because they want to resell you games that they've already made. Because I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. They want to be able to remaster and resell you the same games that you've already purchased. That's basically Nintendo's MO at this point. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart comes to PC in July. More PlayStation games coming to PC. I think Xbox should be adopting the same model as PlayStation. Have the games come out on console first and then release them on PC later. Because doing it all at one time seems to be really not working for them. PlayStation announced that Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart will come to PC via Steam on the Xbox Game Store, on the Epic Game Store on July 27th. The PC port was a collaboration between Insomniac Games and Nixxes Software. This version features ray-traced reflections with varying qualities levels, as well as ray-traced. I think nobody uses that on the PC, so shadow for natural light and outdoor areas in the game. Additionally, there are different aspect ratios to support ultra-wide and triple monitor setups such as 29 by 9, 32 by 9, and up to 48 by 9 resolutions. There are unlocked frame rate rates, and players will be able to choose from different upscaling options, including NVIDIA's DLSS 3, AMD FSR2, Intel XeSS, Insomniac's own temporal injection. Both NVIDIA Reflex and NVIDIA DLAA are supported too. PlayStation VR has a strong launch despite reports outselling original PSVR. The headset is off to a strong start. It would be off to an even stronger start if they had backwards compatibility with its predecessor, but, whatever. The PlayStation VR2 is off to a strong start than previous reports indicated, as Sony has revealed that virtual reality headset had a better launch than the original PSVR2. VR, my bad. Shared in a business presentation, Sony revealed that the PSVR 2's first 6 weeks outperformed the original PSVR. First 6 weeks coming in at just below 600,000 units sold. Specific numbers are unclear on the provided graph below, but the original PSVR came in closer to 500,000. Sony also described the period as a strong PSVR 2 launch, contradicting a report in March that said that the headset was only expected to sell 270,000 units. In math, can't do it today. In roughly the same week period, an industry analysis had said Sony would need to cut PSVR 2's price to avoid a complete disaster. My friend has one of these, and he barely uses it. I'm just saying, it's $600 pretty much buying another console on top of the PlayStation console. I personally wouldn't use it though, but I'm not really all into that VR stuff. I'm not sold on it yet. Moving on. Sony announces PlayStation Handheld to put Razor's Edge to shame. This is something I would buy over a kind of iffy kind of as it is. It's something I'd buy over a PlayStation VR, simply because of the ability to play anywhere in the house is somehow more appealing to me than VR at this point, but that's just me. Soon you'll be able to play your PlayStation 5 games on the toilet. That's a good, accurate example. At the PlayStation Showcase, Sony announced a new game streaming device along with true wireless earbuds for gaming. For all the folks hoping for a PlayStation competitor to Nintendo Switch, this doesn't look to be what you're looking for. Sony stated it was for the streaming games from the PlayStation 5 to a handheld screen rather than playing anything natively. Think more Razor's Edge and less Steam Deck. Steam Deck seems to be more of an actual dedicated handheld than this. And I showed this off in my prior video when I was talking about what they showed off at the showcase. And basically, this is not what people are thinking PlayStation Portable successor. It's basically their version of for cloud streaming. Basically, the games you purchase on your console, you can stream them anywhere in the house from the device and be able to play anywhere in the house. You can't take it outside with you and play games on the go. It's not that kind of device from what it sounds like. Disappointing for those that wanted a dedicated handheld from Sony again, for them to get back into the handheld space, but, I think anything that they do nowadays that ends up a handheld in most cases these days will probably end up being a cloud-based device, seeing as the industry seems to be moving that way. And at some point I'm starting to think that they could probably pair with phone networks to be able to play games on the go. That would be interesting. Though, to be fair, that's not 100% reliable anyways. Satellite internet, I don't know. If that becomes a thing in the future, I could see this working. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think on that front. And The Witcher 3 sales officially crossed 50 million. The series itself has surpassed 75 million units sold. CD Projekt Red has revealed that The Witcher 3's Wild Hunt has sold over 50 million copies worldwide, and it was a good game, so that doesn't surprise me. They make good games, they make good profits. It's as simple as that. Furthermore, CD Projekt Red also confirmed that the series as a whole has surpassed 75 million copies sold. This includes 2007's The Witcher 2011, The Witcher 2, Assassins of Kings, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt 2015's. CD Projekt Red is currently working on several games in the Witcher series, including Project Polaris, which is presumably Witcher 4, which is assumed to start a new trilogy of games at this point, I don't know, and start Siri. But that's just speculation based on articles I've seen in the past, but don't quote me there. Won't be released until 2025 at the earliest, as it only entered pre-production in March 2022, and I heard that they messing with the production in some way from an article I was reading back before that because of all the layoffs that were happening. The studio is also working on a remake of the first Witcher game and has confirmed that it will feature an open world. The Flame and the Flood developer Molasses Flood is also working on a separate game in the franchise called Project Sirius. However, its development was recently reset and has a new multiplayer frame. This is what I was talking about. I don't know if they're like a side developer or they brought him in as a contractor, but yeah, it's a mess. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt was first released in 2015 for PC and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS versions launched in December 2022. Nintendo unable to process eShop payments in Russia due to third-party issues. Decision seems to be more incidental than deliberate, so this was completely accidental. So they're not banning Russia intentionally, but probably. You know how that goes. Anyways, Nintendo has put the Russian eShop into maintenance mode, meaning no purchases of new content can be made in the country. As noted on the Russian site, the payment service Nintendo uses for the eShop is no longer processing Russian rubles, meaning Nintendo cannot take payments. The statement ends, "We apologize for any inconvenience caused. We will share updates as the situation develops." While major gaming companies, including Xbox, have deliberately suspended sales in Russia, Nintendo's wording in the statement implies that this is an unintentional byproduct of another company's decision rather than its own. Move designed to join the chorus of game industry's support for Ukraine. We've contacted Nintendo for comment on that point. Yeah, while they're continuing to do business in Russia at this point, from what it sounds like, they're busy banning emulator software for all. I don't know. Weird policy they got going on, but that's basically what they're doing. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 2 Season 4 release date and details. And yeah, I haven't really been talking about Call of Duty as much, but I play it kind of casual. I mean, at this point, I'm kind of like a casual player. I kind of jump into it every once in every blue moon. But I'll go over a bit of it in this video. Season 4 of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 is quickly approaching, with the release date expected to arrive on around mid-June, and you can see the counter normally when the seasons are about the end, as the season goes on at the top. So it's a good guess in which that season will kick off for the next season. But already announced for the big update, plus some potential Warzone 2 leaks for Season 4. Based on the number of days left in the Battle Pass, Season 4 should arrive around Wednesday, June 14th. These are seasonal refreshes usually go live at around, that's basically what I was talking about, the counter. 9 a.m. PT, 12 p.m. ET, 5 p.m. BST, and I have no idea what BST is. Time zone's kind of confusing to me sometimes. What to expect from Season 4. A brand new season of Call of Duty includes a new 100-year tier Battle Pass to level up and unlock new weapons, cosmetics. Seasonal passes usually contain at least one upgrade and 2 DLC weapons. And then now what they're doing is they're adding like a second Battle Pass on top of that, so they make you double charge for it, because all the good content's in the new pass on top of the current pass. Like they did this season, which was a blatant cash grab. I may have said something on Twitter about it because I wasn't happy. I still bought it, but that's just whatever, because it was the one season I intended to play because of all the unlocks. But anyways, yeah, I don't really expect to spend a lot of money on Call of Duty if they keep pulling that up out of their hats. But anyways, there haven't been many confirmations for Season 4 Warzone 2. However, a new report from I'm not even going to try to read that, claims that Season 4 will include a new weapons map called Vondel, which is set in the Netherlands and is developed by Benelux. Reportedly, the map will have resurgence support start, and at some point will be supported in DMZ. Additionally, Task Force Leaders 141 tweeted, "The data mine placed images for Vondel. Yeah, hopefully they can avoid any lawsuits coming from real life places they may have put in the game. I'm obviously referring to its problems with launch, with one of their maps having the a real life hotel, and the hotel was not happy about it. But yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna move on here. I'll leave this in the description for you guys. I can't get to all of it here because I'm already on about 16 minutes now. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. Gears 6 outline was written by, but may have been thrown out, former Coalition boss says. Rod Ferguson oversaw the fourth and fifth installments of the franchise. Gears 6 hasn't been officially announced by Microsoft, but the former head of the Coalition knows how he would have approached the game. Rod Ferguson, who now serves as the general manager of the Diablo franchise, admitted that he drafted up an outline for the game project years ago. Ferguson was asked in IGN's Unlocked post whether he knew what would happen after the cliffhanger and ending of Gears 5. He prefaced his answer acknowledging he has no insider information, but touched on what he did before leaving the Coalition for Diablo franchise back in 2020. I did want to make sure when I left the Coalition that I left them in a good place, Ferguson said, so I did write some synopsis of the story of Gears 6. If I were to have stayed, here's the game we would have made, at least from a story perspective. Now they probably threw out and said good luck and goodbye, and that's fine. I definitely had where I would go with 6. Spoiler ahead of Gears 5. At the end of Gears 5, players choose whether to save Marcus Phoenix, JD, or Dell, so how the narratives continue canonically in Gears 6 has been debated. As such a split path was offered. Ferguson said he's intrigued to see how the studio resolves that in the next game. Yeah, moving on here. So, last one for today. But Redfalls Development caused Arcane to lose 70% of a praised dev team report. So they had to lay a bunch of people off because of their bomb of a game called Redfall at this point. According to a new report, developers at Arcane never fully bought into Microsoft's Redfall, and it contributed to a huge outflux of talent at the studio. The project was beset with difficulties from the start, leading to roughly 70% of the company's staff that worked on Prey leaving by the end of the development. So I don't even know if they were laid off. I think they just chose to jump ship. Redfall is one of the biggest disappointments of 2023 so far, falling well short of standards set by the not only Xbox exclusives, but also developer Arcane's high reputation, according to a new report from Bloomberg. Yeah, and they also wanted $70 for it, which is absolutely unfreaking believable. The report, which cites more than a dozen anonymous sources that worked on the game, states that the game's lack of success was not a surprise to many at the studio. Sources say that the project lacked clear direction from the start, with management offering conflicting visions for the game's overall goals. Some felt that they were making Redfall's Far Cry, while others were told that they were making something akin to Borderlands. Well, it kind of comes off as Borderlands a bit, from the art style at least. Yeah, tell me what you guys think here. Any news I don't care, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
As always, sources used in the video will be in the description below. Drop me a like and subscribe. If you like my videos, please ring the bell. I'd greatly appreciate it. Any news I don't get here, I'll post on my Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the next video.